Hello, folks. Welcome back to the 7th episode of the Lakers Lens podcast. I am your host, Matt Hollenbeck. I said my name this time. Joined by my other host,
What
Max
up?
Arquilla. Say what's up.
What's going on, guys? Got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Even though it's
I know.
only a few games, but
Yeah, definitely we got our prediction right. I think we both said 3-0.
yeah, we did.
But a little bit weirder than we would have expected.
Yeah, not what we predicted. Like the game, we thought blowouts, and it was not.
Yeah. We really thought Pistons and Thunder would be the blowouts and the Nuggets would be the close one, but in reality it was kind of the opposite. Of course, the Pistons and Thunder games both went to OT, which we will get to. But overall, we'll take 3-0, I guess.
We'll take it. A win's a win, right?
On paper, but I think there's a lot to discuss, so let's get into it.
Right.
Starting with that Nuggets game. Really, in my opinion, probably the best game of the season for us so far, in my opinion. Lakers 114, Nuggets 93. LeBron, easy triple-double, 27, 10, and 10. AD he just really took a backseat this game, 13 and 9. Schroeder had a good game, 21 and 2. Kuzma, 11 and 3. Harrell, 13 and 4. But guess who really stuck out this game for us, Max?
My boy, dude.
THT, 17, 3 and 2.
Against a good team too. Like that's, whew.
Yeah.
That was nice.
And
to
they
see.
weren't all garbage minutes either.
No, not at all. He's starting to get his minutes, and we said this a while back, and Vogel's finally giving in.
Yep. And good defensively on the other side. Jokic held to 13 and 10, which is huge.
That was my favorite part of that whole game.
Yeah. Murray, like I said, I think before some other podcast, but he's not playing incredible. But like you said, he can get hot. He only had 20 points, so that's good. Same with Porter Jr., only 8 points. So really just like amazing defensive effort from the Lakers this game. So what were your thoughts on that game?
Yeah, I thought this was, like you kind of mentioned, like this was your favorite win of the season. It was one of those games where you just came out of it and felt really good, like really confident in this team. It just, the first half was a little shaky, to be honest. I think it was, I don't know what it was necessarily, but we were just kind of trying to feel out the game, I think. And man, second half, we realized we're just a better team.
Yeah.
And it was really nice to see. It was a really good win overall for us. So I'll go through my notes here. Gasol's still getting eaten alive on defense. Teams are really starting to take advantage of him. And it's definitely going to be problematic come later in the season, come playoffs. So I know we've talked about this before, but I'm really curious to see what Pelinka does in the buyout market, the trade deadline, see if he does anything to try to get us another big that can defend.
Yeah.
Again, in this game, though, we held Jokic in check, right? So you can really look back and say, do we really need interior presence? We do. There's way too many paint points, and teams are specifically going at Marc Gasol. He's just not the same how he used to be. So that's something that we're going to have to address. Obviously not now, we're fine, but definitely in the near future. We literally own Jokic. We every time he plays us in the playoffs, like even regular season, like I don't know, Vogel has... He figured out something to stop him because we have contained him. He does well against every other team, but when he plays us, we contain him. Or at least, we don't let him drop 40. Because the next game, he had, didn't he have, 40, 50 or something insane?
Yeah, I think, the game before, I think.
So, yeah. So, and I also put here 80, if we end up not getting a big that can defend, come playoff time, AD might have to step up and guard him. We just might have to take that route. So, okay, this is a kind of conversation I want to ask you about. Just because AD, I think everyone can agree he's been very inconsistent this season for his expectations, right? He still drops good stats, but like for the expectations we have for him, do you think that there's just a lot of pressure on him? Because the free throws thing, like that's mental, and it's like, do you think that like since this offseason it was all about AD's going to be the MVP this year, like, LeBron's getting older, like AD, this is his time. He got his contract extension. Like, what do you think's going on with him?
I don't know, man. I think this is another thing. Is I wanted to bring up. Well, we can do it later because he didn't play last night, but he has like these little injuries, like very minor. Like I mean, who knows how big they really are, but. I think just with like the back-to-back stuff and kind of not being able to practice like normal, the new rotation. I think I'm thinking about that the interview he did with, I think it was like the TNT guys. He was talking like, the team is still, they're using the games as practice. And I don't.
He's just. It's hard. That's why I asked you, because it's like, it is kind of a mystery. It's not what we expected at all, right?
I really do think we see, and you can see it in the stats, is you haven't seen LeBron and AD go for 30 each since the playoff in the bubble.
30 each, yeah.
They're not doing what they did last year in the sense that they're not both taking the reins every single game. It's one or the other usually, and more often than not, it's LeBron this season so far.
Like this game, like why did it just such a low scoring game for him against like a Nuggets team that like Jokic is a really pretty like below average defender.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I guess it's a mystery to me. I really don't have an answer for you guys, like why.
Yeah.
Which is why I wanted to see what you think, because it's just, I don't know. I really thought he would just take a huge, even a bigger leap this season, and he would be having like Bradley Beal stats, like offensively, like 30 a game, like, but
well, let's be realistic. I know I just said like the 30 and 30 thing, but if AD is scoring 40 or whatever, 30 a game, LeBron's not going to score 25 every single game. And
yeah, maybe Bradley Beal that was probably a terrible comparison, but just more, just
he shouldn't be scoring 13 points.
Yeah, exactly.
But then again, like this is a good example. We had 5 other players in double figures, 6 other players in double figures. So
yeah, and that's great.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
If Schroeder, Harrell, and THT are playing well, and Kuzma has 11, KCP has 10, like those points are going to come from somewhere. Now I think we'll have another discussion about this if AD has 13 points and we lose.
And that's the thing too. Like I really don't have issues if we're blowing teams out, but I'm just. It's the games where it's like we've had a lot of close games this year that like I feel like we just didn't have any business like with it, like for it being this close or that close. And it's like those are the games where I'm a little frustrated, like, dude, like this is a game where you could just drop 30 and get us the win easily, instead of us like playing with fire at the end of the game and you have to play all these minutes. So I'm not worried. I just think it's interesting the season he's had. It's not really what I expected.
Yeah. Well, speaking of playing with fire, I think that's a good phrase for these next 2 games. I also want to note that my prediction for THT going off came at the wrong game. I said it was going to be a Pistons game.
Oh yeah, you did.
But he had his game on the Nuggets. I mean, what did you make of THT? Like,
yeah, so he was phenomenal. I think he has a really nice stroke shooting. I just want him to keep improving that. I mean, it's not excellent, it's not perfect, but he's got good mechanics, and that's a good start. So I want to see him keep improving that. But man, the guy just he I think Stu Lance said it too on the broadcast. It's like there's certain plays where it looks like that's Kyrie Irving making play. Like, just sometimes he makes it, like, even yesterday, like that spin move and the revert, like, it's like, oh my God, dude, that looks like. And that was on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's a great defender. First of all, just destroyed him, just burned him. Yeah. So I'm so excited about that. It's kind of getting off THT, but more with the team. I've been saying this all season. Careless turnovers, man, is just, what are we doing, dude? It's why we're in the, guys, I can tell you this. We're in these games closely with these terrible teams because of turning the basketball over. It's unacceptable, man. It's getting infuriating. Yeah. So I just wanted to touch on that. I think just the consistency throughout the game from guys like Schroeder. Schroeder's been playing a lot better lately, but I think I put in this game, the first half he looked horrible. He just disappeared. And then second half he came up. Like, I don't know, just a little more consistency throughout 4 quarters would be nice from everyone, not just Schroeder, but everyone. Rebounding was an issue too. That's another thing, rebounding and turnovers. I know it sounds so like obviously you need to rebound and not turn the ball over, but it's like legit, like this is why we're beating ourselves. Like, everyone needs to box out fundamentals and go get the ball. Anthony, look at this stat, dude, I wrote down. In this Nuggets game, Anthony Davis attempted 3 shots in the first half. So going back to the 80 point, like, what? That is insane, dude. 3 shots.
Yeah. And we were losing at half.
Yeah, and Kuzma's, he can't shoot anymore for some, like, dude, I mean, gosh, he's just Mr. Brick. That's driving me insane. And, like, again, he's doing other things, which is good, because if he wasn't doing those other things, he's unplayable at this point. But he is doing those other things. He's doing the dirty work. He's rebounding. He's going after 50-50 balls, and God, he's got to be thankful he's doing that, because he would be benched if he wasn't. Free throws were an issue. 66 points in the paint. So that's back to that point. And just one more stat here before we move on. I just thought this was cool. The Lakers lead the league. Okay, so this was after the Nuggets game, so it might have changed by now, but I just wrote this down after the Nuggets game. The Lakers led the league in defensive rating, points allowed, 3-pointers allowed, and free throw attempts allowed.
Wow. Huh. That's a cool stat.
So anyways, we can move on. That's kind of, well, at least for me, that's kind of my summary of the game. Overall, it's a good thing. I don't want to, I was pointing out the little things that I thought we could have, improved on. But overall, great win. There's a lot of good things in this game. I thought second half we just looked like a team. Everyone was locked in defensively, like you said. Defensively, that's how we're going to win. That's our culture. That's what we're made of. Like, just irritating offensive players and getting out in transition and running. And I really saw a lot of that, so it was nice to see.
Yeah, I just wanted to add, I just looked up on ESPN, we're 23rd in the league in turnovers, which is at 14.3 a game. And the teams behind us are...
It honestly seems worse, to be honest. Like,
there's only 7 teams that are worse than us, and it's barely...
Yeah, no, that's terrible, but... Man, it's weird. It's crazy. Wow.
It's weird to see a team that is second best record in the NBA.
Yeah, like the best team in the league, and we have like just. It's usually
it comes
not
down to fast break. You have a lot of fast breaks. I think people get excited when they hear Showtime Lakers, and the players want to play like a little crazy sometimes.
No, it's true.
Do some crazy stuff,
but also that shows how good we are. That we have the second best record in the league, and we're bottom 7 with turnover. Like, imagine if we just cleaned up our act. That's beating yourself. Yeah, sometimes just it's good defense, but most of the time you're beating yourself. Like, and our turnovers are Schroeder throwing it to no one, or LeBron trying to like force a pass. It's just like, what are you doing? So I think it's good in hindsight, because that's something you can fix.
Yeah, I think those are all good points. But let's move on to this Pistons game, and I just got to ask you one question.
Mm-hmm.
Can anyone stop Jeremy Grant? Because am I missing something, or did he just blossom this season?
So, do you want to know something interesting about Jeremy Grant?
Sure.
Do you know he was offered the identical, exact same contract to stay with the Nuggets, and he chose to go to the Pistons?
Why?
I guess he just wanted to be the guy. He wanted to be the man. He wanted the ball in his hands.
Well, it's working out for him.
It's working out for him, yeah. But also, can we talk about Josh Jackson?
Yeah, we'll get there.
Nowhere, dude. Sorry, okay, go ahead.
No, I just had to bring that up because
Yeah.
I had this feeling. I'd been telling you before, it's going to be Jeremy Grant. We
He's
just
a
can't
great
do anything
player,
about
man.
him.
He's great. He's a great player.
But final score, Lakers 135. Overtime game, Pistons 129. For the Lakers, LeBron 33, 11, and 5 on 46 minutes, running LeBron into the ground. AD 35 and 3, so he picked it back up.
Yeah.
Schroeder had 22 and 8, which we like to see.
Yeah.
Kuzma played pretty well, 14 and 6. Caruso had 10. I really like Caruso this game. THT 10, 4 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
We're not mad about that.
Totally good. Yeah, totally fine. Double digits.
Yeah. Like I said, Jeremy Grant 32 and 6. DeLon Wright 22 and 10. My boy Svi Mikhailuk 11 and 6. And then
Former
of course
Laker.
yeah, exactly. And then of course Josh Jackson out of literally nowhere, 28,
Dude.
8 and 3. I think it's like his third team in 3 years, but that goes back to what you say about these random players
Gosh, man.
going off against us.
Every time, dude. It's just...
But tell me how we get in a situation where everyone's healthy and we go to overtime with the Pistons, who beat us before.
That was an extremely frustrating game. I'll just like that was the worst win of the year.
Yeah.
Because I hate AD and LeBron playing 2 overtimes. It's just you can't do that, man. You can't put yourself in these positions. Mm-hmm. So let me go through my notes here. So AD got it going early, and I like seeing that. I think we need to get him going early. That's when AD plays well. I remember even going back to last year, a lot of those like playoff games, we'd feed him early and he'd get a couple shots in, and then, man, he would just dominate from there. Okay, something I've noticed, a trend with the Lakers, when we go on runs and there's a stoppage in play, so a timeout or whatever, just a commercial timeout, we come back very lazy and very... I've noticed that. I've been... Just watch next time. And that's what timeouts do. They break momentum, just like every team. But I've noticed it like a little more than it should be. There were times in this Pistons game, we'd go on a run. And it's like, okay, we're looking good. Come back from a timeout. And then we'd let like Jeremy Grant hit like, or whatever, just score 3 times straight. And it's like, all right. That was very frustrating to me. Because it's like, come out of the timeout and put him away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's important. Mm-hmm. Too many turnovers. We just talked about that, so I won't get into it again, but that was a huge reason. Trez needs to we need to keep feeding that guy. He needs to be, getting the ball needs to be in his hands way more. That guy can dominate players and bigs with his quickness. So keep feeding him. Kuzma looked, like you said, his stat line. Kuzma looked like very solid this game. He looked like more bouncy, like he had a bounce in his step. I would like to see this Kuzma more consistently, but we know that does not happen with Kuzma. Gasol's passing was great in this game. Saw a lot of great things with that. And again, I know we've said this already, but that is his strong suit. That's why we have him out there. 18 turnovers going into the fourth quarter. 18, dude.
22
This just, you're not going to win basketball game. You're going to lose playoff game. You turn over, you're getting killed. You're getting killed first round, dude. First round, you're playing the Warriors. You're done, dude. Who cares? I don't even care who it is.
Yeah.
Like, you're losing that. So, unacceptable, man. Just no focus, careless with the basketball. We just keep doing these same habits, man. We got to break them come playoff time. I really hope we do. 50-50 balls we were not getting. That's just heart. That's just effort.
Yeah.
THT had some defensive breakdowns. We saw the good and the bad with him, right? We saw a lot of good things offensively. He had a lot of defensive breakdowns, right? And that's going to happen. That's part of it. Almost done here. LeBron, I think you wanted me to write this down, but LeBron had a long shot at the end that was just, I think you texted me and you're like, what are you doing, dude? Yeah, running the shot clock down every single time and getting bad shots. Why do we do that, dude? I know, guys, Matt loses. He always texts me when this happens. So what are your thoughts on that?
It's just something to take note of. Like, there's this weird thing. You can tell when it's going to happen too. Mm-hmm. Because it usually comes out of when we need a bucket, which is the worst time to do it. But for some reason, LeBron feels like he needs to shoot a long three with 3 seconds left on the shot clock. It's not like he tries to do anything else either. He just literally just stands there with the ball. He'll like jab fake 2 or 3 times, and then he does that thing. It's almost like you know how in football, like the quarterback tries to find the laces?
Yeah.
He does that with the basketball. He looks down at it and tries to find, like, make sure the Spalding sign is like facing his eyes or something. And you know he's going to shoot it every time. And this is what makes me mad, is because he's had so many where he's made them. Uh-huh. And in my head, I'm like, that's not a good shot. But then you'll have, like, Stu Lance and Mike McDonald, like, freaking out. Like,
Bill McDonald.
Bill McDonald.
Yeah.
Bill McDonald, they're freaking. They're like, LeBron James. I'm like, it makes me
still a bad shot.
So mad.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it goes unnoticed because they'll run the action, but they're not actually running the action. It's like they'll run the play, and then
and then they just go out to this. Yeah, I know.
It's like, we just need to do this in case someone gets wide open, you know. Yeah. And of course I like the ball in LeBron's hands. It's never going to be an issue, but
and when he's feeling it, it's fine. Like, and again, if we're up, it's okay. Like, if we have a good healthy lead, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But man, it's like sometimes even down the stretch we're like, dude, the game's on the line, man. What are you doing?
Yeah, especially when we're losing. You just the bucket. What I want from LeBron when we're losing is those hard takes to the basket, the and ones, the
kick
drive
outs.
and dish. Yeah. Him, you know, wasting 22 seconds staring at the ball is not gonna pay off when he cools off, because he has been hot from 3. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I don't think that's a good habit to get into.
And I think I think he does it because it's a way for him to kind of like not overuse his body and just say like, it's just kind of, I don't want to say lazy, but just he's preserving his body for the play.
Yeah.
Dude, he's been in the league for so long. I think he just understands like how to pace himself probably more than anyone in the NBA. But still, if you're going to do that and you're going to take a fall away, give it to a young guy. I'd rather have like even THT or like Schroeder just take it to the hoop. You just get better results. You know, you got AD that will be standing there if the help defender comes over, and you got KCP out if you want to whip it to him for a shot, or Kuzma, whoever that is. So, again, I agree with you, but I think it's just a way that LeBron's kind of preserving his body.
Well, let me ask you this, because we should talk about KCP, who's been struggling.
He's been struggling a lot.
You know, like, this is like a basketball player, I guess a sports thing in general, but you know when you play with someone that's like a lot better than you, and you feel like you have to perform at that level? Mm-hmm. You could kind of say that with Kuzma, but I feel like our offense has been really 3-point heavy, for better or for worse. Mm-hmm. Especially Kuzma, but KCP, I feel like his opportunities are getting less and less, and the less opportunities he has, the more he's missing for some reason. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it's LeBron taking more threes, or if it's, I don't know, anything else, but KCP is he needs to be hitting, especially those corner threes. There was one last night. It was like a perfect flare screen. He was
for what
wide
he's
open.
getting paid, dude.
Yeah, and I mean,
you gotta raise. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, we usually don't talk about. We don't have to talk about him.
Yeah.
Usually, but he's been struggling from three, and
Yes.
I don't know if it's mental. I don't know what it is, but I think, he needs to figure it out.
He also needs to like mix up his game a little bit. Like, he can drive to the hoop, like, and he's good at like finishing around the hoop. Like, I think it's just, again, it's like kind of settling for like like in his mind. Again, I think it's hard to like some of these guys, even Kuzma too. It's like you get so like kind of we were talking about playing with like better players. You like kind of just like get into this like cave of like I need to just stick to my role, which is just play defense and like line up for shots when LeBron passes it to me. And it's like, dude, it's basketball, man. Like, get the ball. Like, I get it. Like, you should always play your role. That's how a championship team is formed. But like at the same time, like if your shot's not going, go to the hoop, man. Like, drive. Yeah. This is common basketball knowledge. Like, and I don't really see it. We'll see like one or two a game where he like pump fakes and drives, but like more, man. Drive, like get a rhythm shot. Like take a little move, drive, pull up. Like it's okay. You don't have to just shoot threes and like fast break or like play like you can mix it up. Like if one thing's not working, try something else. These guys are pros. So I think that's something with KCP personally I want to see more of. And I think that's like a coaching opportunity for Vogel. And I don't know, again, what he's saying, but like he should go to him and be like, hey, your shot's not falling. That's totally fine. You're a good shooter. It's everyone has slumps, but like do other things, right? Like, so I don't know. That's my thoughts.
I mean, it's just a testimony to how crucial he was in the playoffs last year and in the finals, especially. Like, we need him to hit threes, and that's just
we need him in like, dude. We need like that 3-point shooting consistently come playoff time. That's how we won a champion. Like those threes are so crucial down the stretch of games, and you saw that, dude. Like he hit big shots. And we were just, it's funny, we were talking about like him getting the ball and driving to the hoop. He did that in the Heat series, that like clutch play where he pump faked, the like career play that like almost won us a championship. Like he can do it. He's capable. I don't know if it's just he's in his head or he's like, oh, it's not my role. I'm going to let LeBron do it. It's like, I don't know. I guess maybe I'm missing something here, but I need to see more of that,
He knows he's going to be open too because he is the one or two guys on our team that can camp in the corner, and when LeBron and AD suck up all the defense, who's going to be open? Him.
Yeah. We need him, dude, so much more than people think. So much more than people think. Yeah.
Yeah. But so before we get into this Thunder game, let's take a quick break and we'll be right back at you. So stay tuned. All right, folks, we are back with the second half. I kind of like that. It has a little.
I like that too. Yeah.
Back with the second half of the Lakers Lens podcast. Max, you had a little something.
Yeah, I got
read during the break.
Quote here from Frank Vogel. He said, "Last year, Alex Caruso was my secret weapon. This year, Talon is my secret weapon."
Whoa!
Let's go.
Now, is that like a guaranteed minutes thing? Do you think that has some weight to it?
I hope so. I mean, gosh, give this guy the minutes. Anyways, just wanted to read that.
Well, I wanted to, before we dive into the details of this Thunder game, I wanted to bring something to your attention, and obviously you know about it, but let me just read a list of the injuries that AD has been having, I guess, this year, and the games he's sat out for. Right ankle contusion, right ankle sprain, lower back tightness, right adductor strain, right calf contusion, right knee contusion, right quad contusion, and right Achilles tendinosis. So he didn't play last night.
Yeah.
Am I missing something, or is this?
It's strange because I would understand it more if that was LeBron, right? Because he's freaking
That's
old.
my question.
But the fact that a 27-year-old is being out with these weird I don't say weird injuries, but like kind of soft injuries. Let's be real. Like quad contusion is a bruise. Like not to be mean, but those are like load management type injuries, right?
Absolutely.
And it's not like it's like one thing, we're like, oh, like, it's keeping him out, but it's like, yeah, he'll miss a game, come back for a game. Like that's like weird load management type stuff. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, it makes me angry because if they're gonna do it with him, then do it with LeBron.
I know. So it makes me think maybe he is dealing with he's just getting a lot of nagging injuries, and like he's like, I don't want to force it.
Well, maybe that might play a part into the question you asked me earlier. Is like, what's up with him? And it could either be the injuries themselves, or it could be the lack of consistency. Like, take one game on, one game off.
Yeah, it's a good point.
With no real practice either, like just kind of not in a flow. I mean, dude, I was looking at the headline of ESPN, and it says Paul George is out 2 games with a swollen toe.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I mean, like the Clippers are notorious for doing this.
It never used to be like this, man. It really didn't. You'd play 82 games every season unless you actually got a legit injury where you're like out for a week or 2.
I mean, I get it's still early, but like I hope it doesn't. I hope down the stretch.
No, that's a good point. Like it could mess up his flow. I hope like when we get closer to the end of the season, like as we get close to playoffs, he starts. At least gets like 10 games underneath him going into the playoff. Like I don't know. I mean, it's cool in a way he's resting, but at the same time, it's like he's young. I want him to be out there. I don't know.
Yeah. But anyways, let's dive right into this game.
Thunder.
I watched this one I don't know why, but I watched it closer than the other ones. Probably the worst first quarter I've ever seen from the Lakers.
Very slow start, yeah.
Just I don't know what the turnovers were for the first quarter, but it was embarrassing to watch that last 6 minutes of the first quarter for both teams. It was just turnover.
Yeah, it was bad.
LeBron really nowhere to be found in the first. SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, just torching Schroeder.
Kuzma building a house with all the bricks he was shooting.
Yeah,
crazy,
I mean, just the Thunder, really?
I know, dude. They should, and they did the first time. They just destroyed them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but let's go over some stats real quick.
Yeah.
So, final score: Lakers 119-112. If you didn't watch the game, it wasn't a 7-point win, really. We probably could have lost that really easily. Darius Bazley 21-16. Al Horford 14-5. SGA 29-7-10. Hamidou Diallo 20-11. Lakers side, LeBron a late bloomer in this one, 28-14-12. So don't get fooled by that. Half the game he was not even there. Schroeder had 19-7-5 against his old team. Trez had a great game in my mind, 21-8-2.
Great game for him.
Kuzma at 11-10, but not. He was 1 for 8 from 3.
Oh, so dude, he's missed everything, man. Wow.
And then I have to acknowledge a guy that I've put a lot of baggage on, Wesley Matthews, 16-3.
So
we'll get into him.
Yeah, we'll get into him. I want to ask you something, but so okay, so I guess I'll just go through this here. First, actually, I want to say, dude, Jeremy Grant has 29 going into the fourth quarter, and the Pistons are beating the Nets by 8 going into the fourth.
Wow,
dude, let's go. Okay,
all-star.
Sorry, I just wanted to say that. I really hope the Pistons beat the Nets. That would be amazing. It'd be the funniest thing ever. But KD's not playing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so AD was out this game, and Gasol and Markieff, dude, there was no effort rebounding. There was a play, I don't know if you remember it, where they got Dude, okay, well, just in general, how many offensive rebounds did the Pistons get in this game, dude?
Like, the Thunder.
God, sorry, I guess we were just talking about the Pistons. The Thunder got in this game. Yeah. It was terrible, dude. And it starts with Gasol and Markieff early. First of all, don't know why Markieff started. So people listening, I can't tell you. I think I would honestly personally rather have Kuzma start. That was weird to me. Markieff didn't do anything. He's living. I don't know what's going on with him. He's probably like. He's in a different world when he's out there sometimes. But just, dude, like that bothers me, man. Like something like about rebounding when teams get like 3 offensive rebounds, like that's effort, man. Like no one was boxing out. Gasol was just sitting there like this, dude, just putting his hands up, just like trying to tip it. Markieff was. I watched this play. I wish we could like show it, but like he was literally, dude, like standing like 15 feet from the basket, just ball watching. Mm-hmm. Dude, what are you doing? You're literally like filling in for AD. Like we need you to like get in there, box out. What else are you doing? You're not scoring offensively. So that was just unreal, man. I don't know what. Like, man, if I was Vogel, I would have been in their ears about that.
Well, let me say this first before you keep going.
Go ahead.
I was reading a CBS Sports article. Posted this morning. Says Wesley Matthews saved Lakers on Monday, but his emergence highlights Frank Vogel's rotation problem. Eventually the Lakers are going to have to trim their rotation, and I think it brings up a point too, like if AD's going to do this sort of thing where he's not playing with little injuries, how can we justify sitting Keefe and Matthews for 2 or 3 games in a row and then starting Keefe and giving Matthews 26 minutes?
Yeah, I mean it's tough too, and it's also like they're going to be rusty when you don't play for so long, but at the end of the day, like it's your job, to be prepared, right? Like it's your job to get more shots up when you know you're going to start. And so I don't know. I think it'll be interesting to see. Again, like I was talking about the buyout market and trade deadline, like I wouldn't be surprised if I see the Lakers like try to make some sort of move to improve their roster. I would not be surprised. And that might trim the rotation down too if we get rid of a couple guys for maybe like a 2-for-1 or a 3-for-1 type deal just because we're so deep. And we have that extra guy that really, like Matthews, that does not need to play now that THT kind of filled that role.
Yeah.
It is good to have depth because of injuries, but again, I just think it'll be interesting. Mm-hmm. I thought this was just a low energy level game. No rim protection at all.
Yeah.
Points in the paint. They're getting layups. Again, I'm sorry, guys. I feel like I keep repeating the same things, but it's like it's just their trends that are like our weaknesses, and like we need to point them out every game until they get fixed. Or I know some of it's just kind of the reality of our roster. Mm-hmm. But you got to find ways to figure that out and fix it, and everyone's got to do their part, and sometimes we don't. Yeah, offensive rebounds we already talked about. That was just pathetic. Lots of turnovers again. Not trying to be a broken record, but Trez and Schroeder have been playing really well. I think they both played pretty solid in this game. They need to be even more dominant, I think. Personally, my expectations for them are really high. And okay, look at this, dude. We were 4 for 18 from 3 at half.
Wow.
I mean, that's not good.
No.
KCP, we already talked about him. Kind of the same things we touched on. He had that atrocious foul. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You've been in the league too long. Put your hands up and make him make a contested shot. Why are you jumping? There's no time. That is just so stupid. That was shocking that KCP did that. Unbelievable there. Just really shocking. LeBron had way too many minutes in this game. I hate to see it. It really bothers me a lot. Something I saw here, I saw a tweet about it. I actually didn't recognize this during the game. Anthony Davis pulled Montrezl Harrell aside during a quarter break and was motioning through where Harrell was supposed to be defensively. Jared Dudley told the reporter that Davis has been going over film with Harrell on the Lakers system and where he's supposed to be in coverages. I love to hear that stuff.
Nice.
I love that so
Yeah,
much. So I just wanted
too.
to point that out. But, Matt, I want to give you the mic now about Wesley Matthews. Do you think that he should maybe... Was this his audition to maybe get some more minutes? We do need shooting. I just said we were 4 for 18, in the first half. I mean, shooting's kind of been an issue lately. Could he give us that shooting, Matt? I'm going to give you the floor.
Well, I want to say one thing that I was more impressed with than the shooting was his defense. He had some really clutch defensive stops down the stretch.
Strips and yeah.
The strips in the fourth quarter, and just the intensity he brought defensively is something I haven't seen from him on the Lakers this year. As far as offense goes, I'd like it because I feel like he's pissed. I feel like he thinks that THT is taking his spot and that Vogel doesn't care about him, and that's why he played well. That's what I think, but how many auditions is he going to have,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow he has 0 and 1 in 26 minutes. So we'll come back to it.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Like you say with, I think you say it with Schroeder or Kuzma, you say it with, until he's scoring, 19, 20 points a game. Not 19 or 20.
Yeah, that's
Matthews,
a little.
But
yeah,
consistently 10 or
and just being efficient, 10, right?
Yeah. He's a shooter, so he's gonna make 4 threes, 5 threes, and every once in a while. But I'd rather have him make 2 or 3 every game.
And play good defense.
And play good defense as opposed to. One game with 5 threes and 6 in a row with 0 points.
Yeah.
So until we see that, I'm not freaking out, but I do have to give him credit for last night because he played a big part in the win because Keith didn't do anything.
We needed someone to step up, and he did. And for not playing a lot in the past, how many games? He never even played, to come in with that's hard to do, being rusty. Again, he prepared himself, and I think it was kind of that motivation of being a little pissed off that he got benched basically for a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
So, hey, if we can get that production from him, man, you can never have enough shooters in the NBA, especially in today's NBA game. So,
I mean, I'm really looking for him to be I think we talked about it before, but a McDermott sort of
type role.
Someone that you have no doubt in your mind that they're gonna make the shot. Those guys even though they do miss threes, you expect them to if they get an open look, it's oh, that's going in, and if it doesn't, then it's weird. But at this point, I expect him to miss it, and then I hope he makes it. So. I'm looking for him to switch that around. I want to bring up the classic tale of close game for the Lakers this season. Who saves the day? Guess who? The King James.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we didn't even talk about him.
Every close game, who comes to the rescue? It's LeBron.
Yeah.
And 43 minutes. Came alive in the second or the fourth in overtime. How can we get away from that, especially if AD's not playing? I mean, he's just working
and
hard.
Defensively even. That's what's crazy. He's had a lot of great possessions defensively this year, which is just crazy to me. It's just, you don't expect that, and again, that's an effort thing, and that's why we got to be thankful we have him on our team. I mean, he's incredible. I really, it's hard to really describe it. I mean, in my eyes, he is the MVP of the league currently. I don't care that he does everything for your team. Like, the fact that I was talking about defensively, like, that on top of him passing the ball. He's the quarterback, dude. Like, he's the quarterback of our team, and...
But aren't you scared a little bit that he is the quarterback, and without the quarterback, I'm not saying that he's going to get hurt, but, like, he literally, if AD's not playing, he is our team. Like, let's just be honest.
Yeah. Oh, I'm very concerned. Yeah. That is a problem. And that's what I'm saying, like, we need scoring. We just need more scoring, it seems like. And we kind of talked about this on the last podcast about, like, you know, Schroeder really, like, we brought him over for that reason, right? And can a guy like Wes Matthews start being a consistent three-point shooter, right? Because THT can score, but he's not, like, a consistent shooter. And it's like, I'm just a little worried because Schroeder can't really shoot threes that well. KCP's in a slump, and so that's why LeBron has to pick up a lot of the extra slack. And no, you're right. Like, I don't like that at all. That's why I keep pushing for Kuzma to be more, like, to give us more offensively.
Yeah.
You know, so.
I mean,
I don't know.
This goes back to the point with AD and the load management, I guess you could call it. Let's watch the whole game. He's standing up the whole game. And this is really nitpicky, but
yeah. You good, bro?
If you're hurt,
you fine?
If your Achilles is hurt,
that's a sketchy injury, though. Like, God, dude, what is that, dude? Like,
I made this joke to my roommate last night. Because at the end of the game, like, I think it was in overtime when they kind of put it away, LeBron, like, jokingly punched AD in the stomach. And I was like, watch them tomorrow. They're going to list him injured with a groin injury or something. Or a stomach injury. But I don't know, man. Like, it just scares me that LeBron, he's played... has he maybe sat out one game this year?
Yeah, it does worry me because it's like almost his father time going to catch up to him and just like just fatigue, not necessarily like anything else. Yeah. Because like it's like, remember the year before last year when we won the championship, he took more than half the season off, right? And that helped him for that season. So I'm like scared it's going to like catch up come playoff time, and he's like gassed.
Yeah.
And we just crumble.
Yeah.
So I hope that Pelinka, Vogel, they're all aware of this. And I know it kind of sounds weird, but I almost, like, in a weird way, like, wish that, like, I don't wish injury upon anyone, but I wish, like, something happened where he could, like, take 10 days off or something. Or, like, just take, like, a couple weeks off.
Yeah.
Just something. Like,
yeah.
Because I do worry, too, yeah.
It's just, like, these are the games that, let's just be honest, these should be blowouts. And then it turns out that it's the late third, early fourth quarter, and LeBron's like, here we go again. And that's where you get those, 38 to 40 minute games.
Which should not be happening. Just should not be happening.
Yeah. But it's that last 14 minutes where he'll play the end of the third, beginning of the fourth. He'll sit for 1 minute in the fourth. And then it gets close again, and he finishes the game.
I hate it so much. That's my biggest issue with the Lakers this year, honestly.
Yeah.
We're not closing out bad teams.
You see the Nuggets game, he had 35 minutes, which is like what I expect from him. And those extra minutes add up. But let's move on to
the previews.
The previews for next
few games.
Oh, well, I guess this week. It's kind of a weird repeat. I guess they're doing the weird thing with this season. You play like the same team a lot in a row. But tomorrow we have the Thunder. On Friday we have the Grizzlies. And then on Sunday we have the Nuggets again. I know you love the Grizzlies because they have some weird players that do really well against us. But what do you make of this game tomorrow? I'm honestly a little worried about this Thunder game.
Wait. So who do we have? Wait. Go over. Who do we play again tomorrow?
Thunder,
Oh, so Thunder
on
tomorrow.
Thunder tomorrow, Grizzly on Friday, and Nuggets on Sunday.
So I'm actually not as worried about the Thunder game. I'm more worried about the Grizzlies game. Well, okay, so let's start with the Thunder, though. You might be worried, dude. I'm actually not. I think now that we have, well, actually a couple games under our belt against this team, I think we've kind of my how I think it's going to go is I think our mindset coming into this game is going to be, we know this team well enough now. We know their weaknesses. Let's just expose their weaknesses and let's come out. I think you're going to see them come out with a mindset of like, we want to close this out early, because I think everyone's a little frustrated right now. Yeah, we got the win, but our expectations are way higher than what we saw last night. I think they're going to be a little pissed off, and they're going to say, you know what? We don't want to go into OT again. We don't want to have to be playing. Let's blow this team out. I think they're going to come out with that mindset. I really do. So I'm not entirely or fully, completely worried about that game. I think we can expose them. I would love to see 80 out there. I hope he plays, because I think he can really dominate tomorrow.
Yeah. I totally agree, except for I guess I have more faith in the Thunder for some reason, but I feel like they're pretty pissed off. Who knows? I think the Lakers will probably win, so
you'll get a win
W
there? Yeah, I'm going to say a win, a hefty win.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit closer than that, but
okay,
definitely not overtime for sure. I don't think that's going to happen again.
And then,
what do you think about your Grizzly? I keep saying your Grizzly.
No, I just think,
though.
Yeah, I think Ja Morant can pose a lot of issues for us. I'll be very interested to watch that matchup with him against Schroeder. I think Schroeder's a little feisty defender. I think he can keep up with him a little bit, but the Grizzlies they worry me sometimes, because they're they play with just an energy that I love. They just play so hard. They're so young. And they play with a lot of confidence too. I still like the Lakers. I'm still going to pick them to win this game, but I'm going to pick them to win it in a close one. I think it's going to be neck and neck. I could see this game being a game that we kind of maybe get kind of down, maybe early, or at some point in the game we kind of go down by maybe double digits and we kind of climb back in. They gave us issues. We played them twice this year and both games were close. I think it's going to be a third one that's going to be close. Again,
I just clicked on the sorry, I clicked on the the Google card for the Grizzlies Lakers, and the first thing that popped up is LA Lakers, and then : Marc Gasol seems to be out of gas.
Oh my gosh, dude.
they're already catching on.
They're already going.
Marky Mark.
Yeah, Valanciunas might give Gasol issues. But I think they're both kind of slow, so I think it actually might work into Gasol's.
Yeah.
Might be an advantage for him there, but I don't know, man. It's like I feel bad as it's ever done. I don't know, I don't really trust many people. I just don't trust Gasol. Defensively, I've watched this year closely and just seen too many guys just get past that first defender and then just make a quick move to the hoop and for a layup, and Gasol doesn't even contest it. And it's so yeah, I don't know. This game should be a good one. I'm looking again for us to start shooting the ball from the perimeter a little better in both these games. Yeah.
I think depending on the Thunder game tomorrow.
Yeah, what do you think about the Grizzlies?
I really think the opposite, actually. I think we're going to blow them out.
You're taking the Grizzlies?
Yeah, I think... No. I think Lakers are going to blow them out.
Okay.
I just think, we need to start winning these games. I mean, we have had an easy schedule these past, 5 games. I mean, Grizzly, Thunder, Pistons, these... We need to realize that these are blowout games. And I know you just said that the Thunder, it's going to happen with the Thunder.
Yeah.
But I think the Grizzly especially, I keep saying Grizzly, it's not one of them, it's multiple. The Grizzlies, they're just not a great team. Let's just be honest here. They have lost 4 in a row. They play the Hornets tomorrow, so I'm excited to see Melo torch them. But yeah, I think we're gonna blow that game out of the water.
Okay.
So I'm sticking
I
to that.
hope so.
Look for Kuzma to have a good game. I'm just saying it now.
Okay. My guy to watch in the Grizzlies game. Yeah, we should do a player to watch. We should do that.
Yeah.
My player to watch in the Grizzly game is going to be Schroeder.
Okay.
Because I think Schroeder, I don't know if you noticed, he gets into it with some other point guards sometimes. He gets a little pissed off. Like, he was trying to do it with Curry in that game. He's done it with other point guards. And I think him and Morant, it's going to be a physical, competitive matchup. And I think Schroeder's going to want to kind of prove something. So my guy to watch is Schroeder. Go back to the Thunder game. I'm going to say AD just because I'm assuming he comes back. I think he can just absolutely destroy the Thunder inside.
Yeah. I think you'll see a similar game. Even if AD plays, I think you'll see a similar game from Montrez. I just think he just abused Horford. Like, there was that one play where he took him from, like, beyond half court for the and one.
His quickness,
like, I think you'll see, like, 20 points from Harrell tomorrow. But let's move on to the Nuggets game. I am a little worried about this one. I think...
Me too, actually.
Yeah.
I'm very...
You go ahead. You can talk about it.
Yeah, so... I'm going to pick... So I'm going to take the Nuggets in this game. I hate to do it, and Guys, listen, I've been saying this all year. We're the best team in the West. I just think that... we're coasting through a lot of these games, and I think we know that we can be the 3rd seed, maybe second, third, maybe even potentially 4th. I hope not, but I think I could see us ending in the 3rd seed. I've said this all year. And I think we're going to cough up some of these games, and I think the Nuggets, I think it's more of going to just be, I think it's just going to be an effort thing with the Nuggets. They're going to be pissed off that we kind of kicked their butt, and I could see them just coming out absolutely firing. And Jokic is not going to have 13 again. We normally play well against him every time. Something we do is right. But I think no matter how good your defensive scheme is, eventually a star player like Jokic is going to go off. And I think he might have a really good game. I just have a weird feeling about Jokic. So on the other side of it, my player to watch is going to be Marc Gasol.
What?
Yes, that is my player to watch, you guys. You're all probably jaws dropping. I want to see Marc Gasol step up in this game defensively. I want to see some I want to see old Marc Gasol. I want to see some post-ups. I want to see him getting Jokic in foul trouble early, because that's how you can beat them. And if I remember correctly, we did that in last game against the Nuggets. We got them in foul trouble. I think Jokic got in foul trouble. I want to see a repeat of that. Go at him. Make him foul you, dude. He's a big body.
I like it.
So I'm going. I want to see a couple. I'm going to say Marc Gasol is going to hit. Listen to this. This is my bold take. He's going to hit 2 threes in this game.
Wow.
I'm calling it.
I'll be watching. I hope you prove me wrong.
How about you?
I totally agree. I'm going to take the Nuggets too. I just think it's
Gasol was your player to watch.
No. I'm not going to say Wesley Matthews either, but I just think it's too rare to see Jokic, Murray, and Porter Jr. all 20 points or less in one game. Like, that just doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm thinking too, yeah.
Now, on the other hand, my player to watch will be AD, because you don't see him scoring 13 points a lot either, which is what he had in that game. So I still think they have too much firepower. I'm picking AD to watch, but also look out for one of Jokic Murray or both of them to, get those 30, 40-point marks.
Yeah.
Expect it to be close with the Lakers clawing back at the end, but just not getting it done, I feel like, unfortunately. And like you said, obviously we're going to lose some games, but
Yeah.
I pray that we are wrong.
Me too.
Which is entirely possible. I mean, we're still the second best team in the NBA, so or the West, I guess.
In other news here, the Detroit Pistons have beaten the Nets, guys. The Nets lost to the Pistons. Now we can troll the Nets fans who gave us so much crap about losing to the Pistons, dude. You know what they're going to say? They're going to say we didn't have KD. And they're just going to use that as an excuse. It's the most annoying thing. Yeah. You literally have 2 stars. You have Kyrie and Harden. There's no excuse, dude. Like, sorry. I have the game on in the background.
A live update.
Yeah.
Jeremy Grant 32, 5 and 4.
Dude, this is just
DeLon Wright.
He's nice, man. Like what? Where did he come from, dude?
Yeah, he's on the nice. A lot of these players are like bench players for other teams last year.
Yeah, I mean,
seems like.
And again, they get bigger roles. I mean, it's like, gosh, it's like I'm curious. Like if a guy, like imagine THT on the Pistons, dude. I feel like he might just dominate. Okay, anyways.
Well,
not to get off track here.
Yeah. Dude, they have so many players. What the? Dude, okay, they have. Oh my gosh, their active roster is so many people. They have Dennis Smith Jr., Jahlil Okafor.
I didn't know Okafor.
Random players. They're stacking up.
Fun fact, guys, I played against Okafor in club basketball before, and there's a picture of me boxing him out.
Yeah, I was watching that game.
You were there, yeah.
Jabari Parker was there too.
Yeah.
But then now they're in the NBA and we're doing this, so I think you can tell how that game went. But yeah, so now, so we're both predicting 2-1, which is, good, but we want 3-0. Yeah. But anyways, I wanted to throw out my fun facts that I like to do.
Okay.
I like to do those. Now this one's more directed towards me because this is one of my favorite players. News headline: Knicks reportedly keeping an eye on Bulls' Zach LaVine. I want to know, how can they do my man Zach dirty like that? Kind of like your boy Beal. If you're gonna send him somewhere, don't disrespect him and send him to the Knicks. Put him on a good team. Where does Zach LaVine deserve to play? Like,
I could see him on a team like the Nuggets, to kind of have a backcourt with Murray. I think the Nuggets I think they expected MPJ to kind of like make a bigger leap offensively, and he's kind of been up and down this year. And I think, because I had heard rumors that they were interested in trading for Beal, so I think they're looking for kind of that like shooting guard to kind of complement Murray, and I could see him and Murray being a deadly backcourt, dude. That would be nasty if they were able to somehow pull that off and get Murray, him, and I don't know how realistic that trade would be, but if you're just saying any team, I think the Nuggets could be a good fit for him, because I just think the Nuggets, like, that's what they're looking for. They're missing kind of that just other scoring piece, kind of like Schroeder to us, we got, and that's, kind of that extra guy that can just create. So that's kind of my pick. How about you? Besides the Lakers, right? Because I think the Lakers would be a good fit too.
Yeah, but
we'd be a little guard heavy. Yeah, it'd be a little weird.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I could see him like in the role that, like Oubre is in right now in the Warriors. I don't know why. I feel like Oubre was supposed to be like this wing that was gonna take Clay's spot, but I feel like a guy like LaVine would be that. He's like I feel like he would be a great second. He's just not getting it done as the number one guy. I just don't think he can either if he goes to a good team. I think he needs to be that second option. Kind of like Beal was for a long time with John Wall. First couple of years. But that's a good transition to my second thing was Brian Windhorst from ESPN noted that there's rumors of a Kelly Oubre Lonzo Ball trade.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Lonzo Ball to the Warriors?
Make sense to you?
I'm hearing the Bulls. I've heard a lot of reports of him going to the Bulls for a trade package. I haven't heard that one. That's interesting. Lonzo, man, gosh.
I mean, what team does he look good on?
I don't know what to think about that guy. I think you got to surround him with a bunch of, shooters.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Warriors might actually be a nice fit for him.
Why?
Just because I think like he needs. It's more of like, for me, their system. I think they can turn him into an above average shooter. I truly think that, just because like Steve Kerr's really good with working with shooters. I think it would be like more of an experiment. Like I don't really know if it would for sure work, but I think with that system and like just how well they execute on offense and they like get guys open, I think Lonzo could kind of help, be the facilitator when, instead of Curry just holding on the ball for so long, and like, because Draymond kind of does that. Like they'll give it to Draymond at the top of the key, and then they'll have like Curry run off like, like flare screens, down screen. Like they'll have him like move around, like double screens, all this crazy stuff. I think it would be cool to like have Lonzo kind of in that position and kind of just facilitating and passing, and because that's what he's good at. Like that's what he does. Like you don't want him to be in a position where it's like, I feel like with the Pelicans he just passes it off to Ingram and Ingram goes one-on-one, or like, like occasionally Lonzo and like Zion will get some good action or fast break, but like I just feel like the Pelicans offense is very stagnant and the Warriors are fluid in movement, and I think that's where Lonzo can play well, because he's kind of a streaky player. He plays well when there's movement and there's rhythm. And I feel like the Warriors' offense, their structure that Steve Kerr built, has a lot of rhythm. Could be wrong. Yeah. Again, I think it would be a cool experiment.
Those are good points. I have two more things I want to run by you. I know we've talked about this before, but here's an article from yesterday. No, a couple days ago. And you were right about this. Bradley Beal, frustrated and confused by endless trade speculation, wants to stay with the Wizards. So people outside of the organization are creating this narrative that he wants out, that the Wizards want him out, but that's not true.
Yeah,
both him and the Wizards want him to play for the Wizards.
Which doesn't make any sense to me. The Wizards are a joke of a franchise for what they're doing for his career. You're never winning. Trade him. Just stop. Like, you're done. Dude, you guys suck. Like, stop. Like, the Westbrook experiment, it's over, dude. Like, you guys are literally not going to win for the next 3 years, no matter how, like, it's just not happening. You guys have no young players that have potential, minus, like, maybe a couple that kind of do. Like, you just, you don't. You don't. You're wasting. Westbrook's older. Like, what are you doing, dude? Like, trade him, like rebuild. If I'm the Wizards, I'm trading Westbrook and Beal this season. I'm trading both of them, and I'm just packing draft picks, and I'm rebuilding. Like the Thunder did. The Thunder are such a smart franchise. What they did, I forgot his name, Prenti or Sam Prenti or whatever, their general manager, phenomenal job what he's done. He has loaded them up. They have one, rising star in Alexander. And he has a couple of veterans on that team to kind of teach the young guys. And he's just saying, we're gonna just keep building. We're gonna just keep drafting. They're gonna, you know how many draft picks they have, dude? The next, like, in 5-6 years, the Thunder are gonna be so good. Like, they're gonna have so many young, like, stars. So the Wizards are just wasting these guys' careers. Like, what? Sorry, I could go on this for a while. I just think it's such a waste of talent.
Yeah, I totally agree. I couldn't agree more. All I and then my last thing is, actually, let's see how much time we have.
Yeah, we're a little over here. I might need to split this up.
Yeah. Let me just throw in a quick thing. Okay. Curry, 57 points, the other night. Is he the best scorer ever or best shooter?
Ever? Not, I wouldn't say ever. He's the best shooter of all time. That's not debatable in my opinion. He's one of the best scorers, I think, of all time. I will say that confidently. That guy's he's changed the game of basketball. He just has. I've never really seen a player that he plays with so much, like, he makes it look easy. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I've never seen I've seen players that make the game look easy, but like something the way he plays, you know what I'm talking about? Like, he just flows around. It looks like he's playing pickup at LA Fitness when he's playing. But he's playing against the best. He has double teams. He makes the right play. I mean, I can't say enough nice things, like good things about that player. I think he gets so much hate because he's like, he needed all these stars to win. Dude, like, come on.
Yeah. They also drafted, I mean, that first year they won, they drafted all their players.
Yeah.
So that's pretty impressive. You think he'll leave the Warriors?
I could see him being loyal and staying there for his career. He just seems like that type of player.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he'll leave.
I think Beal's another situation, just because the Warriors are set up right now, like, to get Clay back, and with, like, they have, like, bright future. They have some young guys, like Wiseman, that looks really good. Like, Wiggins is starting to develop pretty nicely. He's fitting into their system well. Like, they're on track for next year for Clay to come back. Like, Pascal, they got a lot of good young guys. The Wizards aren't. Like, it's just, you aren't. There just comes a point you got to, like, sit down and look yourself in the mirror and be like, we need to, like, rebuild. They should have done it last year, and they didn't. So, those are my last thoughts on that.
Well, I think, I think you nailed it there. So, yeah, we're looking forward to a good week here. We both predicted 2-1 with that Nuggets game being a tough L, but hopefully it's 3-0 and we're wrong.
Yeah.
But we've been right, I think, 5 out of 6 weeks, so at least one of us. So, we're looking good, getting some dubs. First in the second in the West. But either way, I mean, looking good so far. We got a crazy week next week. We'll get to that when it comes around. But until then, guys, make sure you follow us on socials, Twitter.
Yes, please.
What's the Twitter, Max?
Lens Lakers on
Lens
Twitter.
Lakers, at Lens Lakers.
Yeah, at Lens Lakers.
Instagram, the Lakers Lens podcast. Make sure to follow on Spotify. YouTube, of course. Leave some comments.
Yeah, interact with us. That's my biggest thing.
Yeah.
Like, don't be afraid. I know I have some people that follow me on Twitter and like my stuff. So just please, like, if you're listening, just interact. Like, we're cool guys. Like, Matt's not really much on Twitter. I kind of want to get him on Twitter eventually, but he's more of an Instagram guy. So go on our Instagram and just, like, comment on the posts. Just ask a question. Matt will answer you. Matt kind of runs the Instagram. I'll take care of the Twitter. So let us know.
And then go on Max's TikTok too, Max Arcola. He does, like,
oh gosh,
just funny memes and stuff. So go check him out on TikTok or whatever. On TikTok. You're getting blowing up on there, dude. You're going viral. So hop on the train before he gets too famous, so you can say you were one of the first. All right, guys. Well, we will. We'll talk to you next week. All right. Peace.